Welcome to another Chess24 Kingscrusher Banter Blitz. It's 12:30 PM. I've got the window open so you can hear some nature birds tweeting. Quite a happy season for the birds. Okay, got to mute over here and go to my challenges. Welcome to another Chess24 Kingscrusher Banter Blitz. It's 12:30 PM. I've got the window open so you can hear some nature birds tweeting. Pardon me, that was another browser. Okay, I think we're ready. So challenges list. Don Williams, who's got he's beaten me before, very dangerous. I'm not going to underestimate this guy. I hope I don't underestimate him. I'll try my best. Oh no, not the exchange French. I'll try this G6. It's not, maybe it's not entirely objectively mainline, but I want to try and weaken white's light squares later. With bishop f5, if I can. So I want to try and play bishop f5, swap off the bishops, try and use like e4, the e4 square for a knight, maybe, to get a knight onto e4 later. Although there's only one shed file, I'm pretty cynical about this position, my prospects generally. But if I get a knight to e4, I can hope maybe to spice things up. On the other hand, I'll stop queen b5 maybe, that could be annoying. Or do I want to do that? Actually, I'm not sure, time is of the essence. This one shared e file. Queen b5 is probably a nuisance. Yeah. With the one shared e file, it's difficult for me to do too much at the moment. Maybe I shouldn't play the French. It makes me wonder if I should, I don't know, drop the French, because it's such a risk when the exchange variation is played. We can swap off the rooks. I had a game recently where I kind of had to do something accurate, otherwise I was losing a pawn. I have that funny feeling here. I'm going to have to do something accurate soon. I wonder if knight d6 is this e file. It's a bit of a venom position if queen b5 is good at some point. At the moment I've extinguished queen b5. If I just swap off the rooks, it's not very ambitious, but I don't know what I can do which is that ambitious. Knight e4 here, maybe rook e1 f5 might be worth a punt. Okay, famous last words. Okay. I'm weakening the e5 in doing this. The e5 square, if I'm going to actually play rook e1, or on rook e1 f5. E5. Okay, one optimistic point generally about knight e5 takes is this diagonal here. If I can tap into that diagonal, maybe. Well, it looks dangerous for me to take here because there's rook. Actually, if you take here, it takes. I got the check. There's knight f1. There's queen f2 there. If queen f1, well, that looks active actually. That position. If knight f1, queen f2, yeah, it looks as though this is the kind of weakness of the last move. That e1 is a loose piece. Knight takes. This one is through again. Rook takes. Queen takes. Bishop takes. Check. Queen f1. I'm thinking there. Why am I thinking that's dangerous? Actually, I just had a funny thought about this. Knight takes, and it's got takes there. Okay, since I've analysed it, I better use it. It's Kotov has this advice that sometimes you might blunder because you do something else, not analysed at all. At least this has been analysed, even if it doesn't give anything at all. I'll just blunder the queen. Okay, good start. Okay, thanks for the game. Yeah, okay, just blunder the queen. Oh man. Alright, so that was analysed a bit, just wrong. Whoops. Yes. I am prone to such blunders, unfortunately. Alright, so this quick e5. This is looking okay, I think. Let's try and not blunder the queen this game. Bishop e7, bishop f5. Or bishop d6. So queen h5, bishop g4. Yeah. Bishop g4, rook e8. That might help me. The weaknesses here might help me. Okay, rook e8, bishop c5. Alright, I think this is okay. So h6. Okay, I'll try not get mated on h7 here. Okay. I'll try and avoid c4 and bishop f. Well, I'm not getting mated anyway. The queen's holding. No, I would on bishop f6. The queen wouldn't be holding g6. So, all right, let's try and avoid a major blunder here. Let's try and, I don't know, if I block that for a moment, just move the bishop. Let's move the bishop. At the moment, I'm holding h7 with the queen. That's how I think. Oh, there's bishop e4 as well. Okay, yeah, I think I need a warm up. Actually, at the start of these, Simba. This is gonna. Okay, I have to try and play well here. I have to play very well here. This is another very dangerous opponent. Okay, I have to try and play well here. Let's try not to blunder too badly. Right, this is, at least this is territory I'm a little bit comfortable with generally. So this is Shirov territory, Shirov system. Do alright with that. So G4 is the idea. Okay, I got porridge here, I got coffee, maybe had a bit of coffee earlier. G4, well there's knight F4, maybe I should just play on the, actually what I can do is rook H1. Trying to use this H file and C5. So taking bishop takes, I think the C file looks thematic to use, knight B5, that sort of thing. Right. Quite loud playing outside. Knight C4, knight B6 might be an idea. This is looking a little bit dangerous. Ooh. But I want to evict that queen with queen d2. Okay. Maybe knight c4 here. What's h4? Oh, this looks scary, actually, with queen g5. It looks scary. More scary than I'm used to in this line. I wonder if queen d2 can help. It does. I have support here for queen d2 with this knight. If I took and king f1. Oh, the point is it's a double check. Alright, get some material anyway. There's rook g1. Maybe there's some compensation. I'm just wondering about the king here. The check and then bishop f4. There might be some compensation here. It's two pieces for the queen. My king is not at least being mated. There's bishop g4. Rook g1. Okay, hold on a sec. What about... Can I safely take this? And if I pin... I can take that, can I? I can try and double. Okay, bishop g5. What is this with bishop g5? There's queen g6. Bishop d6? I play bishop d6. Holds e4. If rook d7, bishop e5, that would be good. if rook e8, maybe I just double. I think I might have something here. Yeah. If I double to make this pin a little bit more awkward, might be back in the game. I'm hoping I'm back in the game. But lucky to be back in the game here if I am. Bishop takes g7. Looks back in the game. Yeah, it looks okay. I'm happy. I'm a happy bunny here. Very happy bunny to have escaped that onslaught. Thank you, Simba. Okay. Alright. Phenomen. Yeah, if it's two pieces in Blitz for a queen, worth playing on for a bit. Worth playing on. Well, you know, sometimes it's a sack. Two pieces for a queen. But here, I mean, that was a special case. I think the king side was already exposed. Black's king probably with best play. I don't know. Need to analyse that at some point. That game maybe. Anyway, on to a new game here. So this is like Archangelist. I'll try and hem in this bishop. Oh, well, actually, okay. The queen is queen sack. Takes king e7. Might not be working. I don't know if I take the queen. He's done a me from the first game now. That's what I did in the first game. Thanks for the game, Penniman. Now, formidable Caracon. Formidable. Now, we have had some debate in both the Nimza engine and the King's engine on past occasions. I wonder what he's going to choose here. A little theoretical debate between us. What opening of choice will it be today? Let's try this Shirov system again. Although I blundered. No, sacrificed my queen for two pieces in that other game. I can go with the Shirov system again. Okay, fairing. This can transpose into Benoni territory. If I play CD. This is the boring way, which might actually be. Yeah, if I want to be, I've seen games with this. I'll do the boring method, keeping it symmetrical. I've seen games where black's a bit tied down in this symmetrical pawn structure. So, with the other way, I can get knight d2 to c4, but this could be interesting with a bind on the position. Like, okay, and he's creating some weaknesses, maybe. Knight b5 is immediately would force passivity. Knight e8. Well, that's interesting, actually. I guess knight g5 doesn't work because he takes here. Knight d2. I think I'm gonna go for this. The f pawn or the h pawn. Probably the h pawn is more solid. It's a general rule. F pawn was, yeah, weakens diagonal. Okay, try and rule out knight b4. I'll play bishop d3 and use this diagonal. Yes, he could play for b5. There's queen h5, queen e8, maybe rook e1 first, and then queen h5, rook e1, queen h5. Now this is not happening. Knight b4. I can do this. I mean, you can do this and knight a6 to b4, but a bit long-winded. I'm just trying to restrict that knight to start off with. Well, b5 as well, of course. So rook e1, queen h5 looks okay to me. Actually, f5 looks a bit vulnerable. I wonder if f4 is queen d4, losing a piece nearly. Queen h5, there's probably bishop e8. Queen c2 or queen b3. Actually, queen b3 has got something annoying going for it, at least. Then I might be able to use this e-file if a rook's tied down to b7. I wonder if I can just play rook e2 and then f4, knight e4, queen d4 immediately. No, I can take on b7 on queen d4 immediately. I can take this and this if he takes this and this. So I'm wondering rook b8, rook e2, because this e-file. Wait, queen d4, is that a nuisance or what? Maybe a5 first, then knight a4 holds d3. I want to do this anyway, probably, because of b6. Knight a4 to b6 holds d3. He could take on a4. At the moment, queen d4 is still annoying. Maybe knight e2 then, to kick the queen away. Actually, thinking about it again, queen d4, rook e7. Takes. Maybe rook e7 on queen d4. In fact, have I not got queen b6 here? Is my queen getting trapped? Okay, I think I'll try and see what this does. If I can double them rook e7, but queen b6 is interesting to bear in mind. h4 is probably dangerous, getting a bit dangerous. If I double the rooks, okay. Well, that gives me maybe knight f3 actually here. So if h3, g3, maybe I want to play knight f3 here. That's an interesting position. h3, g3, f4. What if I took? Is that too dangerous? Maybe this is too dangerous. There's a few moves to get around. Okay, I'll try for rook e7. I'm hoping this is not fatal. If queen h6 after, king g2. Or knight h2. If he wants to make me on h1, that is. In the meantime, can I do something with my queen? Is king takes f4, there's rook h3. And there's no queen g6 there. So maybe king g2 here, maybe. I'm wondering. Right. My king probably needs to escape. Why can't I take on d7? Am I getting really mated? And in spectacular form, I wonder. Check, e2. Can I do this? No, rook e2. Okay, let's not panic too much. It's rook e7, rook e8, so I have king e2. Queen h3, king e2. Is f4, right? That's bishop h6. I can take the knight as well. If my king is surviving that, it might not be too terrible. If it goes across the board. The rook is held by the knight. This knight's hanging as well. Can I escape over here? King b3 maybe on queen f2. There's bishop c1, knight a4. That's a good one. I like that. It's a roller coaster with this guy. Okay. Yeah, I got rid of the mating material, so that's why that's a draw. Thankfully, I got rid of the last pawn. That's good for the spectators, not good for the players, probably. No, it's fun for the players, yeah, really. It's fun for the players. It's good, yeah. Just your average Chess24 Batter Blitz, yeah. It's not your one-sided Batter Blitz, but actually that was quite a game. That was a real chess game of people of two people of the same sort of rating level. I know that's a shock, but that's how it is. Okay, that was called a fight. I don't know. I'm sorry if that offends anyone. That was a fight. That was a street fight. Jeez. Oh my god, that was a fight. Alright, knight e4 here. This diagonal might be good. Yeah, I'm still in shell shock. Oh no, I can't recover after these games. I have to keep playing after the game. I would, go and recover for a few minutes, maybe in a tournament. I don't know. No. Okay, so A5. This looks good for the pin. A5. This structure looks a bit wobbly. Maybe just b5. Maybe b5 is okay. Maybe, I don't know, knight e7 to f5. It's interesting. I got rook f3, knight d2. He's got bishop h7 after. What if I just give up this pawn? If I'm playing a b and just try and get a pawn back like that? Yeah, I'd rather get rid of his, light square bishop here. I'm going to do this, just trying to get rid of his light square bishop. I'm weak on the light squares already. So he takes here, take on a3. Maybe I'll take on b4. Right. Should I take on b4? Take on how though? How? Oh, okay. I'll take with the queen on this occasion. I guess he's taking here. Get his pawn back and take it from there. Queen c4 to d5. If I can liberate this bishop, if he ever plays queen d5 there to liberate the bishop. So queen c4 to d5, maybe. Bishop e4, d takes, queen c4, queen d5 after. If he takes, I open up the bishop. So I think this is okay, unless there's anything better. Just want to get to that d5 square. This is a measly little backward pawn at the moment. Okay, I think, yeah, bishop d7 coming up. Bishop d7. Okay, let's open up my bishop now. What's happening here then? I've got this passed pawn over here, so I'm wondering to exchange rooks. If I don't, there's rook e6 anyway. If I play b5, so I'm wondering just to play with this passed pawn. That seems to be my major trump card in the position. He's got 3 to 2 here. This is my passed pawn. Try and get my things herding the pawn with knight c4 and maybe bishop a4 b3, herding the pawn. Bishop a4 b3 b2. Okay, so b3, or is it a bit weak? There's bishop a3 for b2 coming up, herding the pawn. Kenko coffee. I find it strong. Kenko dark. Okay, he's hitting my bishop. Can I move it without getting forked? Try and avoid getting forked. Try and deprive these knights of some squares. And that's a skewer. Can I safely take that pawn? Okay, I can win a piece here. Thanks for the game, Sebi. Johan Willem Mobus. Okay, I'm not pre-moving knight c6, surely. I'll see what he does. Yeah, let's play Sicilian defense. This queen b6 for some reason occurs to me here. This particular position, I haven't committed to e6. I'm wondering if this is a book move or not. Queen b6 immediate. Maybe it is. I think I might have seen Ivanchuk play this just to get that retreat, and then going back to a position with a6, queen c7, b5, just to get that retreat. Although that's a bit subtle. Right. I can play for a5 though. Yeah, given he's volunteered his bishop, I'm wondering h5 and bishop h6. If he plays a4, h5. If he plays castles, bishop h6. If he plays f4, maybe e5. But whatever, he's given me this dark square play on a plate, giving up that dark square bishop. Mind you, d6 is not all one way. That d6 is weaker. He can play f4. So what about maybe bishop d7, alter this plan, bishop d7, rook c8. And knight b4, which gives rook c3 if he castles, if queen c3 is knight a2. If he took here, well, that's interesting. Alright, so d6 is a problem here. Okay, d6 is a problem here. I can play maybe knight a7 here when I drop a5. If he takes knight b5. Have I got knight a7 or not? If knight b4, there's c3, so I'm wondering knight a7, funny enough. Oh, I don't think queen a5 works. Takes, knight takes. No, it does work. Hang on, because he takes and he's protecting. Yeah, probably. Wait, there's queen e3 check. Weakness of the last move. There's queen e3 check. Can I play e5 here? e5 looks a terrible thing to play in general. What about just bishop h6 with the idea of e5? e5 in general just weakens d5. I mean, I don't know if it's is it justifiable? I'm not sure. It should be, surely. Hang on, because of the f pawn. It might be. It's all right. Let's see. I'll take with the queen. There's knight b5. Yeah, I think I should take with the rook. I can take that in king e7. So now I've got rook c8. Let me bring this one to c8. Rook a8 to c8 to c5. Double. Plays c3. Always there's g3 anyway. Okay. On e5. E5 takes. Okay. Let's bring this rook back into the game. Rook c8 to c5. If I double, wondering about. He's got things under control there, really. Alright, C2's under fire. Has he got things? He's got things mostly under control. Yeah. Alright. For the moment, holding D6 more than needed. Maybe Rook C7, Queen C5, take it from there, Queen B4. Oh, this is getting a bit interesting. Queen C5. Notice E5 is dangerous. Hang on. E5 is dangerous, and that one's dropping as well. And I've got very little counterplay at the moment. And this B2 could be weak if he wins this. If I get my queen here and bishop here and there's F5. I'll get ready for that anyway. I know there's probably always E5. Queen B4 hits the rook on E1 as well, though. Is he playing rook B3? Right. Actually, I'm holding H5 from there. I've just realised. I don't know what they're doing with the planes today. Outside. Okay, so yeah. I'm holding H5. That's good news. So F5. Take on H5. Can take on E4. If he plays E5, then I'm in trouble there. So bind, bit of a bind. Two rooks for the queen. Okay, just to make sure he's repeating, is he? Rook B3, just to make 100% sure he's repeating, because I'm wondering what I'm doing. Or is he taking here? He could just take there. What am I doing? He could just take there. I need my queen on C5. I can't do this test because I'm losing a pawn. This is a dangerous situation to be in, where I'm trying to be creative now. I end up blundering my queen or something. Okay, dangerous situation to be in. Alright, for the moment, let's do this waiting move, because I'm wondering rook G8, G4. If two rooks for the queen. Well, he's done me in the first game. Yes, it's not just me that blunders the queen, apparently. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know. It's Blitz. Yeah, I noticed earlier it was protect. Yeah, I know it's Blitz. It's Blitz. It's Blitz. If anyone else, just the answers. It's Blitz. Okay, butterfly. It was an equal position, for sure. I mean, I don't know if I was probably worse. Maybe he could have just taken the pawn earlier when I played queen before. Maybe the pawn was just there and okay, forget it. F3. I'm going to play F3. Bishop C4, Queen B3. Well, I like this classic kind of, triangle structure. It looks aesthetic. I mean, so even if I lose, I had an aesthetic looking position at this point. Yeah, it was aesthetically pleasing. So rook D1 and then maybe going for D5 later. Queen G4. I'm wondering Bishop H4. Does that win my queen? No, it's Queen H3. I was just a bit paranoid about losing my queen since the first game. Queen G3 is not losing the queen. It seems the queen is not losing immediately. There's Queen H3. Fine. Because I'm just wondering to poke over here. Poke over here? That sounds naughty. Sorry. I mean to get the queen over there. To get the queen over here. On the king side. I think people stop using the term poke so much on Facebook. I haven't heard it that much recently. Poke. Anyway, so, okay. Alright, E5. Okay, yes. E5. Sorry. Okay, so knight f4. No, okay. Knight f4. There's rook c3. Let's just get back to yeah. So bishop b1, maybe d5 and e5. Bishop b1, d5, and e5. Try not to lose material here. Knight f4, rook c3, bishop f2. I'm not doing anything particularly, am I? Okay. Is there... What about rook d2? Is rook d2 a move? Is it? So I can keep hold of c3. There's bishop b4. There's bishop b4. Okay. Let's tread with caution here. Do I want to move the knight and now rook c3? There's bishop f2. It seems I'm not getting zapped immediately by anything in particular if I played knight f4. So I'm going to play knight f4 hoping it's vaguely aggressive. d5, ed, e5, knight moves, knight h5. Is that actually doing anything? I'm thinking it's fun to play this, so I'm going to do it because it opened up the bishop. I think it might offer something unexpected. Generally want to liberate my pieces if I'm doing some sort of attack. This seems to tick that box of liberating some pieces. It gives me access to h5 here. That queen was holding h5 just for a moment ago. If I get this aggressive knight onto h5, I have weakened this diagonal. He's always got bishop c5 now. But if I play knight h5 to start off with, okay, I'm not threatening mate or anything. That knight's holding g7. What about f4, f5, f6? Or knight f6, or f4, f5 here. If he plays bishop c5, if I play king h1, then takes, rook takes, then I'm losing the rook here. That's funny. Okay, it's taking the pressure off f1. Can I not just play f5 here? It looks mega dangerous. Because if takes, there's no knight f6, I'll just take there. If g5, well, it looks dangerous now. h4, e6. Looks much better than earlier. I'm getting some compensation, surely. Actually, e takes for queen g5. Yeah, that knight's really dangerous, I think, after that. E takes and queen g5. Birds are tweeting. Okay, so I thought queen takes e5 was dangerous because queen h8, knight f6. I'll just take. I thought this was really dangerous. Is it not? He's not really going to take the knight, is he? The check. Oh, the king might escape. Unless I play fg first. I cut that f file first. So fg, there's no queen g6 with queen h8. And there's knight f6 then, so maybe I need to play queen h8. F takes double check. Maybe I just queen the pawn. Well, this looks really good. For queen h7 and f6. All my dreams come true here. Thanks for the game, Butterfly. Yeah, Azul missed. Are we playing a Benko Gambit or something? No. Alright, this is the knife variation of the Bononi. Kasparov used this against none, but there's this queen h4 which he's going to play to be annoying. I'm not really sure theoretically about queen h4. I think Kasparov played bishop d7 here against none. I think it was the Lucerne Olympiad. Was it Lucerne? And it seems weird to give up the light square bishop. I know that. It's counterintuitive. I was more worried about the queen h4 line. Okay, the plan basically from that template game is f5 and bishop g5 to promote f6, then go for d6 and then knight h4 to f5. That's basically the plan in the Kasparov Nunn game. Nunn had written a book on the Benoni. Okay, it doesn't work here. Because the knight takes f3. I'll go for this. Queen g4. I'll still get in my bishop g5 with queen g4, I think. This is probably worth calculating fg for takes if the queen wasn't protecting the rook especially. It's kind of forcing me to calculate every turn now. Takes. Bishop g5 here. If I provoke f6. Right. I'll be on d6 with tempo though. So maybe queen g3. Will he give up the bishop with bishop e5 here? I wonder. Bishop e5. His dart squares are creaking surely after bishop e5. I don't think g5 works. If I double rooks, queen h4, f6. Double rooks, queen h4, f6. Yeah, it's the only thing I can see at the moment. That's the only plan. Double rooks gives fg as well. Okay. Avoids the loose pieces in the short term anyway. Can't lift the blockade that easily. Oh, yeah, I wonder if I should have played f6 there. He's got me thinking now. He's given me rook e4 here now as a possibility. I guess rook g8. Yeah. All right, but even so, you know, rook e4, or even, I don't know about f6, liberating that bishop. What about knight e4? If queen e5, there's knight f6. Knight e4 to g3. Takes a4. There's h4, knight g5. Maybe that's a waste of time. Taking that. I play h4, knight g5. It's getting dangerous, surely. With tempo on a4. So h4. Is h4 needed, actually? Is h4 needed? What about this queen h4? Or f6? Hold this for a moment. So he doubles, and if I ever play g3, I'm weakening my light squares. I guess that's annoying. Although queen h4, rook g2, there's knight f6. Yeah, let's see if he takes on g2 here. Knight f6 hits h7 and d7. No time to get on the diagonal. Knight f6 might be a nice move anyway to kick these rooks off each other. I mean, double rooks. Knight f6 ties down black, maybe. Ties down the rook, kicks this one away. Now the bishop's not able to take on a4. What's the meaning of that? I wonder why I can't play knight f6. Is there rook g1? Okay, let's. I'm going to check this. I mean, test this position. Queen takes f4. There's queen takes h7. If that would be clever, otherwise for rook g1. If queen takes f4, well, not really. Actually, okay. I'm still on the light squares. I can play rook takes f5 here. He's got no check. There's no mate on h2. There's rook g1. I don't think that's a big deal. Oh, he plays it there. That is a big deal. Oh, God. No, I didn't see that there. Queen e1. I wonder if he sacks the rook. Can only see queen e1. Oh, hang on. That's no good because queen h3. I've only got 30 seconds. I think this is a goner. So what if I move this? If he moves the rook, rook e8, actually. Oh. Yeah. Good one. Good one. Well played. Okay, well played. That was intense. Oh, well played. Very resourceful. You set me a lot of problems I couldn't handle in time, basically. And that's part of the thing on Blitz. It's setting problems as well. Well, it's good combination as well, obviously. Okay, knight g5. If I have two moves, I'll play rook e1, rook e6, queen g6, queen f7. Is he castling? Or, I don't know, queen c7. If he castles queenside, there's knight f7. Isn't there knight f7 if he castles queenside? Yeah, if he castles queenside, knight f7. I was wondering about rook e6 here. If queen g6, king d8 does knight e6. If here, check, knight e4. That looks really dangerous, rook e6. I'm going for it fun. I can't see what's wrong with it, because the king's still in the centre. It needs to be punished. There's always knight e6 on king d8. On king e7, there's queen f7. Here, there's knight e4. Or no, there's just queen e6 there. Looks okay. I don't even have to pick up the queen, because that might be like two pieces. I can actually take on f4 as well as an option. I think it's pretty cool, this, because king d8, knight e6. Right, he's convinced. Alright, let's have a quick. If he goes here, there's knight e6. I can either take the queen, well, it's easiest probably take the queen, but there's also, that's pretty good. Probably just taking the queen is better. Yeah, let's check. That's okay. All right, thanks. Yeah, the king was left too long in the center, I think. It's good to dream up the ballsy moves, just in case the conditions change and they're ready to go. Okay, we're dog barking now outside. Okay, alright, so bishop g5, e5, or hold the e5 point. I can try and hold the e5 point, and it kind of restricts d6 ball. Yeah, I think this is, an attacking formation. Queen d3. All right, so queen e2 to e4. Okay, I'll no, it needs some thinking. Actually, queen e2, he's on the bishop. Maybe bishop takes. He's kind of weakening the king. If he plays f5 though, maybe I just play positionally then on the d file. Okay. Oh, I'm wondering queen e2. Yeah. I'll go with queen e2. So if he plays f5, sure, he's blunting the bishop. But on the other hand, this d file is interesting. Okay. Okay, interesting. All right, I think I'm going to do this just because it's 2 pawns around the king. I'm going to do this. Sometimes it gives this very aggressive mobile pawn setup. I'm not sure that's happening here. I've got enough of the grip, I think, on these pawns for these pawns not to be too aggressively mobile in the center. I hope. So knight e5. That's getting a good grip on the center. As long as this bishop's left locked in there, I'll be happy for a moment positionally. Possibly queen f3 to h3. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. What about this c file? If I took, there's knight g4 and I lose f2. Knight g4. Maybe there's stuff. F2 is vulnerable here anyway. Okay. Yeah. And what if I just knight b5 to c7 hits e6 though? Yeah, let's go with this. Knight c7 hits e6 and a8. That seems okay. That seems okay. Knight c7 is forking a8 and e6, it seems. Unless he's got something, I don't know what he's got necessarily. Okay, can I kick this? I want to play knight c7. I wonder if he goes back to b8. B8. Yeah, b8. What about... Oh, b8. B8. Rook c1, knight c7. Alright, is it time to play knight c7 here, or is there knight e4? No, there's no knight e4 take. There's no knight g4. Well, there is knight g4. He's not... Okay, surely he's going to move the rook. Surely. Surely he moves the rook. He doesn't play knight g4. The one problem with this plan is rook e8. I'm just going into a self-pin there. I'm not threatening knight e6, surely. Rook b8, knight e6, rook e8. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Think about this. Oh, I'll chicken out. I'm not going to take on e6 just yet. I'm just giving myself a stranded knight. Oh, there's bishop f5. Hold on a sec. With bishop f5, I'm more optimistic there. Knight. Okay, if I calculate this, 96. Rook e8, bishop f5, rook e7. Rook c3, rook e8, rook e3. It's possible. I'll give it a go. When I say I give it a go, I mean I'm going to gamble. It's not just losing a piece. Okay, so that's what I mean. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Let's see. Rook e7. Rook c3. He's got d4, and then you can double rooks. Anyway, he's only got 20 seconds, so even if I lose the knight, okay, at this rate, okay. All right, f2 and the pin is exploited. Have I got knight d4? Actually, so if it takes, then bishop takes. Knight d4 seems to be a saving resource. Right. Okay. And if I played, say, h4 here? Okay, f3, there's queen b6. Maybe, I don't want to play king g2, queen f2. That would be a great way of losing. Can I keep things under control somehow? How exactly? How? Can I play a move which isn't losing by force? Hopefully. Okay. Alright, thanks. Yeah, put me under pressure there. And I don't know about e6, if it was technically possible to do that with best play. I don't know. Actually, okay. This is Caracon stuff. Pretty standard Caracon stuff. So are we going to end up with a rook e6 in this game? That's interesting. If we did, that would be statistically unlikely. Although, having said that, I remember this brilliancy game of Kosteniuk. She sacked on e6 and then sacked on h6 when black castled. Yeah, I'd like to do that. Yeah. Especially if it was sound, I'd like to do that. If black castles. Maybe. We're gearing up for that. Oh, he's tempting me. I don't know. C4. What about C4 here? He's not castling queenside. This idea of rook I don't know, bishop c3. If he castles rook e6, queen g6, it's got the idea of bishop h6. Is black congested enough that that would ever work? If I start proceedings with bishop h6, rook e6, queen g6, queen h6, I'm giving it a chance. This is crazy. I'm going to play it just to the fun of it. I'm probably losing three pieces in a row now. I've seen the pattern on a master game, and see. I need some more bits, actually. Let's have some more bits here. Yeah, I'll put one more bit in slowly, because rook g8, knight f7. I'll slowly put one more bit. Actually, I've got h6 at my disposal. h6. Oh, it's dangerous. It's dangerous position. Yeah, okay. It's probably not sound. We need to analyze it at some point. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Can black defend? It looks like a draw. If I've got a draw, no, I haven't. And there's no knight g5, but actually, given that fact, it doesn't look right to play this. I got carried away here. I'm not sure this is right, actually. I've been especially naughty here, I think. Okay, this is probably not entirely sound. Oh, there's an FM, a 2700 FM. Wow. Fire flasher. I'll try my French defense system with knight c6. It's a 3-minute game. Not too displeased so far. This is a little trap, because if I castle this bishop h7 for knight g5, I'm aware of that little trap, because I've played it myself with white. I've just gone into knight d5, I think. Okay. That's one I completely forgot about. This looks interesting. Bishop g4, yeah. For queen h5. fact, there's knight f3 as well. Takes queen h5. There's king g2 there. If I played queen h5 first, it looks a bit dangerous. Was that blunder? The knight's still stranded. Queen h3, knight f3, end of game. There's knight f3 interruption tactic for queen h3. It's stronger than knight f3. There's knight h4, I guess. Bishop g2, and I've got pressure on the rook. If I pin, protect g7. d1's hanging. I've got to take my d1 check. Muppets. d1 was hanging. There's mate after. What a moron. I've still got knight g3 here. Yeah, if takes, there's knight g3. But I just missed the mate in 2. He blundered the rook basically earlier. It's only a 3-minute game. It's only Blitz. But he blundered the rook. Okay, this is all crazy stuff from earlier, by the way. But I've just gone into trap number 2 you're supposed to avoid. I avoided trap number 1, right? Which is... sorry. I don't know. This is too funny. I avoid this because there's trap number 1 is this one, right? All right, just for the record, there's trap number 1. I go into trap number 2 instead. Okay, I go into trap number 2 instead, which is forgetting about knight d5 when there's queen on e2. So this is going to trap number 2. Yeah, trap number 2. All the traps you've ever wanted to know in the knight c6 French are in this game. Okay. Jeez. So again, bishop c4. If I took, there's bishop c4. So it goes a bit crazy here. I've been looking at games in the 19th century, so that helps because they're always sacrificing things left, right, and centre. So if you didn't, there was something wrong with you or something. Yeah. So so bishop g4. This looks like a 19th century game to me. I don't know. He just blundered the rook though. That really helped. I was just going to pick up the exchange because the knight's stranded. It's very difficult with the bishops pointing at the king. So queen h3 is threatened because of that pin. He protects that. I fought an interruption tactic. He's gone threatening mate, but I've just realised I'm on d1 here. So actually I've just missed the mate in 2 coming up. Here, weakness of the last move, just taking it here as a mate in 2. Well, it's all fun and games. I thought this was clever, knight f5, but queen takes d1 is cleverer. That's okay to leave the queen there. Yeah. Okay, fun one. Okay. All right, again, I clawed back some rating points. Blitz enemy. I'm sorry. That was one of my highest rated opponents. I don't know. I start laughing after a tense game. It's a way of relieving the tension. Laughing at the game. I don't know. I have natural tension relief methods that I use. And over the board, it's like walking around. If the opponent's like, it reduces for me the tension. In online chess, I'm sat at the chair, so I start laughing uncontrollably. Okay, so rook d1, rook c1. Yeah, it was a tense one. I thought that was it actually after losing the rook. Anyway, so rook ac1. Actually, he's beat the hell out of me a few times before. This guy, I'm sure he's beaten the hell out of me. This is not going to be funny. Okay, let's try and keep a brisk pace and not lose my queen. In fact, can we get the queens off so I don't lose my queen for nothing? Mouse, behave. Sorry, I played that a bit too quickly as if it wanted to go to c6 or something. Behave, mouse. I got a gamer's mouse. It seemed a bit overexcited there. All right. I've just stranded the rook, haven't I? I've just stranded my own rook. Oh, that was so clever. Oh, that was ingenious. Venus Flytrap has been entered into. I might as well take on d6 here. Poor rook. What did it do to deserve bishop d8? I got a dark square grip, I suppose. Yeah, if we look at the compensation here, f4, e5 could be a good grip on the position. Great. Now there's a massive wasp in the room or something. Oh, B? Wasp? How painful is this going to be? Oh, great. This is the price of having the window open. It's a wasp. Great. It's a bit of a bind on the position. I'm imagining it's a bind anyway. I'm optimistic I have some sort of bind. Knight d4 to b5. I can take and get another pawn. 2 pawns. And that gives b4 after. I might need to use this opportunity. b4, knight d4 might not be entirely unhappy. If I get a knight to c5 especially, get that knight to c5. Not here. Maybe for the moment knight c3. c5, b5. I'm not losing a4 immediately on rook a8 because the knight's holding a4. So c5, b5. Can I get the king over? Superman, which I wasn't allowed to watch yesterday. Instead, someone wanted to watch Heidi. At that point, I started streaming for 5 hours. I do not want to watch Heidi when there's Superman on. Call me a science fiction fan. A5, A6, sorry, A5, B6. What if I took and then King E4? B6 immediately threatens to win with B7, does it not? Am I imagining that? Bishop takes A4, B7 winning? Oh, there's Bishop C6. Right, better take on E5 first. I'll play A5 here. What about king? If my king goes to C4, is that viable? I've got this promise of the connected passed pawns. If only I can get my king over there. There's the promise of herding 2 connected passed pawns, which is ample compensation for the exchange in theory. In theory. In practice, I don't know. This pawn is not immediately dangerous if I got this and the knight was holding E2. So can I get into C4 and then B5? B6, there's always king C6. I'm a bit wary of doing that. What about A6? So if B6, bishop C6, B7, yeah, A6. Get to play B7 after. E6, I still have B8. These pawns are not queening immediately. I mean, I know women are not into science fiction, sorry, but I mean, seriously, there's the original Superman on. Why would anyone want to watch Heidi in their right mind? Yeah. So B6, B7, it looks to be winning. Even there, it looks to be winning to me for some reason. B7. Sorry, Heidi fans, but okay, I think I might have seen it at some point, and it wasn't that memorable. I don't know. Okay. I mean, it's one thing to be forced to watch the Gilmore Girls. That was fine, but Heidi is too far. It's going too far. I just had to do like hours of streaming yesterday. Instead, sorry, these things come out during the stream. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm just. Okay, rook takes A6, B7, B7. Oh dear. Yeah. If I play king e3 to avoid the hassle of checks. Well, that's an interesting turn up for the books. Okay, it's a tough one because he's beaten me twice before. Thanks for the game. I'm making some confessions I'm going to regret later. No, I did not watch Heidi. I just want to say I did not watch it. That is just too far. Sometimes I want to pick up some nuances. That's why TV wants to put everything on like 6 million times, like the Bourne Ultimatum in the UK. They just need to stick that on loads and loads of times. So you end up like learning the entire script off by heart. So that's one of my favourites that I have watched several times because they put it on TV so many times. But at least it's interesting with Matt Damon. Yeah. That Superman, I was prepared to give it a shot. You know, I was prepared, to pick up some nuances, given that they're going to repeat it over and over again. But no, okay. I don't know. I was crushed not being able to watch it. Okay, anyway. I don't know how many of you are sci-fi fans and relate to this. Yeah. Anyone a sci-fi fan? It doesn't matter if it's vaguely sci-fi. You don't want to watch Heidi instead of something that's vaguely sci-fi, right? Okay, so anyway, let's get off this subject. Back to the chess. Oh, what's happened to my timer? The stream's supposed to be ending by now. I think I've screwed up my time. Okay, doesn't matter. I'm going to play the whole queue today. Don't worry, I haven't got a coaching thing immediately after. I'll play the whole queue today. I'll lose all my rating points that I've gained. I'll probably end up making even worse errors that I have already. Okay, let's play for the fun of it today. Okay, Queen E8. I'm thinking I might have a 430 though. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, but anyway, Queen E8 to G6. This looks like an attacking position. This knight on F4. Yeah, what is he doing? He's giving me the G file. I've got a nice road to his king now. King H8, Rook G8. The comments are the thing. Never seen Heidi on Star Trek. Yeah, funny enough. You've seen Khan even though Khan was in one of those Poxy TV shows. Is it the Ewings? Khan was a good actor and he appeared in Dallas, didn't he? Or was it the other one? Can I not take on H3? But he was in. If you saw one of the most charming Star Trek originals, as a sci-fi fan I'm talking now. First of all, I did go through all the original series of Star Trek with the aid of someone's blog explaining the political and backdrop at the time. So it was around the time of the Cold War. If you get the political backdrop, it's very interesting to revisit the original Star Trek series. But it's also one of the more charming episodes was seeing Khan in one of the episodes, and then obviously they made the Wrath of Khan later, based on so they let him have a go in the film. That was really cool. Okay, so yeah, the Wrath of Khan. I think one of my favourite Star Treks, for really weird reasons, is when they visit. Well, actually, not that weird. Probably. I don't know how weird you're going to think this is, but when they visited Earth, and the guy just gave someone a pill and sorted out, her medical issue. That was really cool. And the wells, the gigantic wells they had to transport. Okay, so Queen takes F1 and Knight C4 looks dangerous. I thought that was one of my I don't know about you guys, that was one of my favourites, where they had to, they visited Earth and the gigantic, they had to save the two wells or whatever. Thanks to the game. Okay, so Mick Towell. I'm sorry, I'm slightly loopy today. I'm hi. Okay, so my router seems to have restarted. I realised I didn't press start on my timer, which is why it's like nearly 2 hours in. But let's have a rematch as the last game to try and give MGTOW the game. How will I do that? I don't think there's a rematch option. Can MGTOW challenge again? Can MGTOW challenge again? And I think I'll make that last game because I forgot to do my timing today. Sorry, it's kind of overrun. It's only scheduled for an hour and a half, and I think I might have a coaching session later. So I better go. And I usually go to Cafe Nero. I got to go and pick up a cappuccino and something to eat. So if MGTOW wants to challenge again, I'm going to bypass because I'm going to make that last game, right? Does he want to challenge again? And we'll get a game, and then I've got to go, and I'll see you next week. And I hope you've enjoyed the session. I'm going to have to edit that out, of course. Is MGTOW around? Hi, MGTOW. I've got to go because I've just forgot to press start on the timing like a complete moron. Okay. And there's this wasp in the room. I hope it goes because that's a bit disconcerting. Okay. It's not going, is it? It's going to annoy the hell out of me. Yes. The threat is stronger than the execution. Yeah. As they say, as Nimzovich says. The threat is stronger than the execution. It's just buzzing around. Yes. I think, was it Rubenstein that had a fly in the room? But it might not have been a fly in the room. It might have been going insane. Okay, so is MGTOW around or is not? I don't know. Do I need to refresh here? Oh, God. Okay, I'll play another challenge. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened to my connection. It's not 100% reliable, is it? Is Poker Mahjong? Planet Albin Counter Gambit for fun. The threat of being stung is stronger than the execution. I'm going to lose racing points. Okay. Why is everyone playing A3 nowadays? Is everyone booked up on the Albin Counter Gambit? It's really okay. I'm not sure about Bishop F4. I'm not sure that's the most venomous. Bishop F4. Okay. Talking of Rubenstein, I think he's one that sort of created a lot of opening, contributed a lot to opening theory with the Fianchetto systems. He was one of the early positional, top players in the world, very positional with the Fianchettos. Was he considered a hypermodernist? Rubenstein? Probably. Giving MGTOW considerable time to add to the challenge list. No, he's not around. Okay. I might go after this game then. Let's make this the last game. So Queen H5, Bishop G4 looks like a crude sort of thing to play given the semi-open F file. Queen H5, Bishop G4. Usually these open counter gambit positions are not as good as this. This is a cause for celebration, this position, relatively speaking. I'd spent like 3 hours yesterday waiting for a wasp to leave the room eventually. I didn't want to try and move it. It just gravitated. It just went high up. The window was open just below it. Yeah, you know. But they're trying to just go through the glass. Yeah. Okay. So Queen F7. All right. So I don't know. G5 and Bishop G4. Actually, this could be dodgy for my light squares, I think. G5, knight d5. It's a bit dodgy on my light squares. That's fascinating. Okay. I'll venture d5, g5 here. I'm wondering if knight d5 takes bishop g4 is interesting. Just to ask this knight to move. Am I asking to be punished on the light squares here? That's the thing. It's possible. It's more than possible, unfortunately. Okay, knight e1. Oh, I didn't expect that. It's a bit violent. What's that about? What is this about? Oh, I just dropped the bishop, like a moron. Oh, great. That was a total panic reaction by me. That's when you know definitely time to stop, like an hour ago or half an hour ago. Total panic. So now I'm back to being just miserably worse in this position. 2 pawns down. Just great. Wonder if I can hold this with opposite colour bishops or not. If I take here, e3 is a bit vulnerable. If I go back to c5 after, I just want to hold e6, so I'll take with the bishop just to hold it against e6. Right, can I play for bishop c5? With opposite colour bishops. God, that was a shocker. I thought, what was that sack about? He shocked me. That was a shocking thing that happened. Try and hold these guys. Otherwise I'm doomed. I don't know if I can afford queen e6. I'm hoping I can afford queen e6. Oh, this is looking great. Is he really going to give me a passed pawn over here? I should have kept my one remaining pawn. I'm still, funny enough, wondering if I can hold this for a draw at least, with the magic of the opposite colour bishops at work. I offer a draw, I think. You know, I'm going to offer a draw. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this session today. I'm gonna go now. Oh, MGTOW's challenged me. Okay, I'm not gonna go now. MGTOW's finally challenged me. Alright, just one more then. Alright, past my okay. Recovery time. That's odd, blocking in the bishop. It seems odd to me, because in the lines usually the bishop not so bad. I'm wondering about knight f7, knight g5 here. This is, I've seen this sort of idea before. Is there some sort of queen sack or something? I'm looking for something which maybe doesn't exist. But knight e6 and check and queen e6 is dangerous, because even if knight e5 there's queen e5, surely that is dangerous in its own right here. Just queen e6 threatens queen f7. Knight e5, I guess, is a resource because it holds f7. But I don't see my king being in trouble just yet because the rook's kind of hemmed in at the moment. So knight e5, probably queen takes e5. I've nicked 2 pawns basically. Knight e5. What else apart from knight e5 exists here to stop queen f7? That's got a slight snag to it, surely. Okay, there's rook e1 coming up. Try not to blunder my queen. I think knight e5, f4, and, well, actually just rook e1 immediately. Yeah, and if knight d5, there's c4. This looks like an adventurous position. Now knight f5 threatens queen g7. Okay, thanks. Yeah, it was just an opening mistake, basically. All right, I really got to go. All right, thanks. Remember to like up the video if you enjoyed bits of it. Okay, so I've done any. I've got to go and recover from this session. All right, thanks. All right, cheers then. Yeah, cheers then. Thanks very much.